The road to healing your gut is through a plant-based diet. One of the things that I would emphasize, if you eat something and it makes you feel good in the short term, that doesn't necessarily mean this is the right thing for you.
Welcome to the Generation V podcast, the podcast dedicated to the young, conscious generation of vegans who are looking to make mental, physical, and spiritual gains. My name is Nimai Delgado, professional bodybuilder, engineer, and vegan lifestyle advocate. Each week, I will be sharing inspiring individuals who will help you unlock your limitless potential and become the healthiest version of yourself from the inside out. Welcome back to Generation V. Did you know that there is an entire ecosystem made up of trillions of microscopic organisms that live within each and every one of us? It is called the world of the microbiome, and approximately 90% of our cells are of microbial origin. These intestinal microbes interact together like an orchestra and can dictate many of our body's responses such as mood, digestion, metabolism, immunity, and much more. What's even more intriguing is that we are only just beginning to scratch the surface of understanding these organisms and their interplay and how we can use this information to cultivate a healthy internal environment by changing our genetic expressions. This is why I am so excited to have Dr. Will Bolsewitz, better known as Dr. B, come on the show and go into detail about how we can cultivate a healthy gut environment. Dr. B is a graduate of Georgetown University School of Medicine. In 4 years at Northwestern, he completed his internal medicine residency, was chief medical resident, and received a master's degree of clinical investigation, which he actually completed at night. Then, at the University of North Carolina, he completed gastroenterology fellowship, was chief gastroenterology fellow, and did an epidemiology fellowship at the world-class UNC Gilling School of Global Public Health, and even received a competitive grant from the National Institutes of Health. He's done more than 40 presentations at international meetings and authored more than 20 papers in the top gastroenterology journals. Needless to say, Dr. B knows his stuff. You can follow him on Instagram at TheGutHealthMD, where he provides tons of great content in a way that's fun and, dare I say, digestible. If you like this episode, please leave a rating and review on iTunes, share it on social media, and visit veganfitness.com for more evidence-based nutrition for peak physical performance. Oh, man, but let's just go ahead and get right into it, man. I'm like super, super excited to start this conversation because there's just so much buzz around gut health. And before we get into that, obviously I want to thank you for coming on the show and being, open to talking about it with us and with our audience.
Oh, it's a tremendous honor for me to be on your show. Honestly, you are a legend within the plant-based community, and I know that that's not something that you're a very humble person, so you don't think about yourself that way. But, I think it's really cool, all the things that you are doing, just frankly, to be an advocate, for this plant-based lifestyle. And the good news, we're going to get into this, but the good news is that science is leading the way, leading the charge, and showing us how we should live. And the good news for you is I don't think you need to make major lifestyle changes. And so there are some people out there that do. And honestly, I'll say this before we jump in, that I really hope that there's people listening who are not plant-based. Those are the people that I want to speak to the most today, because I think that there's an opportunity to learn about the way that our body works, and then you can take this information and decide what you want to do in your own life.
Yeah, and I think you nailed it on the head when you're saying that, science is really coming around. Now I think that there's so many more studies that kind of address these topics, when before it was kind of just a very one-sided conversation when it came to, plant-based nutrition and everything else. There's no real comparisons there. Normally the comparisons were against something completely different. So the fact that science and doctors and studies are coming around kind of proving what other people have been living for so long is just it's so reinforcing now that, before you have advocates many people before me that have been leading this movement, and now the evidence is coming forth and just kind of reiterating everything that they've been preaching about for so long.